guys, welcome back. So I just wanted to talk about my two favorite things that I have. This is my DJI Osmo Mobile, and this is my Sony FDR X3000. Now these two things are my absolute favorite toys, gizmos, gadgets, whatever you want to say. But I would really like to find out if I can mesh the two together because I really don't want to go out and buy another expensive gimbal. This one was in my price range, so I got this, but I don't need to have like 500, so wanted to find out today if I was able to combine the two and see if it will work. So let's find out what happens. All right, so the very first thing in testing this situation out is you see how there's a little little square in there, and that detects if your phone is actually on the gimbal. What I need to do is cover that to hopefully see if I can get the X3000 on there. Just use a little piece of paper, a little bit of tape, tape that bad boy up. Now, there's no way for me to actually attach it this way. I would like to be able to do that, but unfortunately it is quite top heavy, which was making the motor sound like it kind of burned when I tried it initially. So let's see what happens when I just put it on the side. Just a couple of rubber bands. Just going to be tightening it up a little bit, although it's still a little bit too big as compared to like a cell phone or something like that. Just going to turn on the X3000, and it feels pretty secure. If you don't feel it's that secure, I'm just using a cable tie and just tighten it up just a little bit more. All right, now let's turn on the DJI Go app. Oh, it would help if I actually turn on the Osmo. I'm just going to calibrate the Osmo just to make sure it's at a good balancing position. Alright, so we're done, so that's good. So obviously I'm not using my phone with the DJI Osmo, and it's difficult for me to see what the camera sees, which is why it's so amazing that we have the live remote, so I can actually use that as my guide to see what I'm looking at. And I did actually try some of the options in here, like for instance, if I wanted to do time-lapse, or a motion time lapse. Those ones are good because I can just keep it sitting and it'll still move itself. But let's see how it works when I walk around. Hello. So here's the thing, I have to kind of hold it from the side. But I still have use of the joystick. So really, I mean, technically, yeah, I could use it. At least for selfies, it's going to be pretty good, I guess. But to be honest with you, I actually think the FDR is pretty good on its own. And that concludes my little test, and let's see how the image comes out. All right, so I just want to give one more little tiny test to see how it looks as compared to on my on this little tripod Sony thingy, which I absolutely love this. One of my gripes with with the Osmo Mobile. I'm a girl and I find it very, very heavy over time to carry that, like to do like selfies or, you know, vlogging or whatever. But this thing is like crazy light, and actually it's really well built. So I definitely prefer using this. But let's see the difference. Would help if I actually turn off my Osmo and don't break it. All right, so at this point I am just walking around again with my FDR X3000. And you guys are gonna have to tell me which one you think is actually better. We'll review the footage, but let's just kind of see how this goes. This thing is just so light. It's just so easy to use. I can throw it in my little pouch when I'm scooting around town. And this is it's just the whole idea of it just being small and compact. I think the quality of the camera itself is actually fantastic. And honestly, I don't really know if I need a gimbal for this. I'm not sold on it. So, thoughts. I just really prefer not to use a gimbal. I just find them very, very heavy. I know you can get really good, fantastic videos, but like for traveling and things like that, I mean, I think this is the way to go. It's such an easy setup. It's just super light. Like if you're doing vlogging or something like that, I think the sound quality on the FDR X3000 is fantastic. Right now I'm on a Sony X30 and I don't think the sound quality is quite as good as on this, which is probably why I'm making it my main rig, I guess, as you'd say. So definitely gonna stick with this guy.